knees, just slowly bringing your fingertips to the earth, bringing your belly to your thighs. And as you start to exhale, just letting the head drop towards the earth. You can move around a little bit on your feet, swaying or backwards or forwards until you find your center. And then when you... Lovely. We've got our left foot crossed in front of our right tonight. Yeah, we're just starting off in a bit of a different way. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Feeling the head drawing you towards the ground. Feeling your hips reaching you up towards the ceiling. Taking 2 more breaths here. Feeling the movement of the belly against your thighs when you inhale. Feeling yourself letting go when you exhale. And then inhale to halfway lift. Just bring the feet side by side for a sec. And then step the left foot behind the right. Or if you started on the other side, just do the opposite leg. And then again, you can just swivel very gently forward and back, side to side, until you find your center, and then coming into your shape. So feeling the belly on the thighs, whatever you have to do to get there. If you need to bend the knees more, that's what's important. It's just the length of the spine towards the mat. Feeling it in the hamstring and the ITB. Slight engagement of the belly to the lower spine. Taking 2 more breaths here. As you exhale, just letting go of anything that annoyed you today or frustrated you, and breathing in new possibilities. Softening everything as you exhale. Inhale to halfway lift, bringing the left foot back to join the right. Fingertips out in front of you. Let's step the left foot back, coming onto the left knee and finding our low lunge. Lifting the arms up. Taking a breath in, and then as you exhale, lunging through the front knee, stretching through the left quad, squeezing the left glutes. Dropping the arms away from the ears. So dropping the shoulders away from the ears. And then as you exhale, starting to lengthen through the front foot, fingertips to the mat, looking forward today. We won't look down. Maybe lifting your balls of your feet off the mat, maybe not. Try it both ways and see what feels best in this half Hanuman. And let's inhale to come forward again. This time we'll walk our hands forward, bringing our palms to the mat, or you can bring your elbows if you've got room to bring your forearms to the mat, either or. Letting your right leg just wing open to the right, coming onto the blade of the right foot. And again, just finding your shape here, what feels good in your body. If it feels too intense with your forearms on the mat, place your palms back on the mat. There's no right or wrong. Let your body be your guide. So either staying here or lifting the left leg up, flexing the left foot, maybe reaching back and holding onto the left ankle. If you've had injuries around the groin or anything like that, don't go too far. So you can even have the left foot up without holding onto the ankle. So just practicing with kindness towards yourself and your body tonight. We'll take one more breath here. And then very gently releasing, bringing the forearm back to the mat, tucking the left toe, stepping the right leg back, and we're in a dolphin plank. So forearms to the mat, feet side by side, zipping up through the inner seams of your legs. Slight rounding through the upper back. And just stay soft here, gazing forward, making sure the jaw's relaxed, the eyes are relaxed. And then gently bringing the knees to the mat, walking yourself back into a child's pose, hips to the heels, reaching the arms out in front. Bringing the forehead towards the mat. But think about reaching the hips to the heels first, so lengthening out. And just coming into the breath here. Feeling the earth below your hands, your forehead, your shins, tops of your feet. And then we're going to come forward onto all fours and step the left foot outside the left hand. And we're going to find our low lunge here. So lifting up, lunging into the right leg, bending through the left knee, dropping the shoulder, squeezing the right glute. Taking a breath. And then starting to exhale, lengthening the front leg. We're coming into half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana, gazing forward. So gazing forward so that we can reach our sit bones back a little bit more. Shoulder blades glide together. Maybe you lift your ball of your left foot off the mat, maybe not. So try it both ways. And then walking both hands inside of the left foot, bending the left knee. We're going to come into our lizard lunge. So onto the blade of the left foot, left knee comes out to the side. That's nice. And then deciding, will you stay on your palms or will you come onto your forearms? Just notice the difference in both variations and do the one that feels best. Maybe we're going to bend the right knee in towards the glutes. Maybe we're going to reach back with our left hand and hold on to the front of the ankle. Or maybe we're just going to reach our left hand back. Opening the top shoulder, the left shoulder. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly unraveling with control. Left forearm to the mat, right forearm to the mat, tucking the right toes. And if you haven't got a cat sitting right in the middle of your mat, walking your left leg back, coming into your dolphin plank on this side. Beautiful, really nice. So you can either stay here or you can start to pike the hips and walk the feet in towards your elbows. The heels don't have to come down to the mat, but push out of your forearm. So make space between your chest and the mat. And we'll take 2 breaths here. Maybe you can bring your chin to your chest and your head's off the ground, looking at the gap between your feet. Taking one more breath. And then exhaling, knees to the mat, untucking the toes, finding your child's pose. So hips to the heels first, lowering your chest to your knees, inching your arms forward. Maybe you bring your forehead to the mat. All just offerings. Taking 2 breaths here. And then inhaling to halfway lift. Walking your hands back under your shoulders. Lifting the hips, tucking the toes, lifting up, downward facing dog. So finding your shape here, just, you can step the feet in or out. See what feels good for you, but reach yourself away from your palms. Palms are spread wide on the floor. Lovely. Really nice shapes. Taking one more breath here. Exhale to let go. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, stepping the right foot beside or in front or behind your right hand, coming up into your high lunge. Bending through the front knee, pushing the left heel away. Think about turning the inside of your left thigh towards the back of the room. That should straighten the hips, align the hips a little bit. Arms up, shoulders down. Beautiful. From there, we're going to straighten the front leg, lean over. See if we can pass our hands past the edge of our mat and then float the fingers down to the mat or to your shin. And gently lowering yourself down your leg if it feels good. Otherwise, staying in a half lift. So taking a couple of breaths here. Just letting something soften every time you exhale. Inhale to halfway lift. We're going to drop the back heel and turn ourselves to the left side of the mat, the long side of the mat. Toes together, heels out. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhaling to fold. So your hands can be at your ankles. You can gently see if you can splay the elbows out. Keep a slight bend in the knees and see if you can pull your torso through to look at the ceiling through the gap in your legs. Always using the breath, not straining or pushing. There shouldn't be a struggle in this. Let's take the struggle out. And then let's bring the hands back to center, to the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Bend the knees, roll yourself up. Hands to hips. Toes turn out, heels turn in, coming into goddess pose. So tucking the hips. Think about bringing the knees behind you. So nice flat, hips at the back. And then inhale, opening your arms out to a T. Exhale, right arm under left for eagle arms. So squeezing the elbows together, squeezing the forearms together and lifting them up. Belly in. Take a breath. As you exhale, curling yourself forward, rounding through the upper back, elbow into the belly button. Inhale, coming up. Lifting the arms up to the ceiling. Lifting the right heel up, placing it down. Lifting the left heel up, placing it down. Maybe lifting both heels up. Holding there if you can, or just keep doing one side to the other. And then gently lowering down, unwrapping the arms. Hands to the hips. Right foot faces forward. Left foot steps up. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. Fingers touch overhead lightly. Exhaling down into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Right foot steps to the back of the mat on the ball of your right foot. Rolling yourself up into high lunge, left leg forward. So bending through the left knee, think about turning the inside of the right thigh towards the back of the room. Belly to spine, shoulders down from the ears. Relaxing the jaw and the gaze. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, starting to lengthen through the front leg, reaching forward, hands down to the mat for your pyramid pose. Draping your body down your leg. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, lowering yourself down with control. Taking 2 breaths here. Very nice. Just keep that front leg off lock. Don't have the knee locked out. And then inhale to halfway lift. Walking your hands around to the right. Coming into your variation of forward fold. So you can do what you did last time, holding onto the outsides of the feet or the heels, or you can peace grip the big toes with your 2 index finger and middle finger, thumbs to the mat for support. Keeping a slight bend in the knees, but tilt the hips up towards the ceiling. And then start to lower your body down. Try not to have yourself sort of rounding in like this. We want more of an extension from the lower back. You can splay your elbows out to the side if you're holding onto the big toe. Just taking a breath or 2. Making sure the neck's relaxed, nodding yes, shaking no. And then after the next exhale, bending the knees, releasing the toes or the ankles if you're holding them. Hands to hips, rolling up and coming to standing. So finding your goddess shape again, heels in, toes out, bending the knees and hold on to the top of your thighs, pushing them away from you. And then just start to turn your right shoulder into the center of the mat. Hopefully feeling a nice stretch there. For a couple of breaths. Nice, that looks very nice on both of you. Inhale, coming back to center, over to the other side. Nice stretch of the inner groin, the lower back. And then coming back to center, standing up again, arms out to a T, left arm under right. Finding goddess pose. So remember to tuck the hips, sending the knees towards the back of your room. Nice. Can you tuck your hips under a little bit more, Dorit? Straighten your back up a little bit. Yes. Think about squeezing the glutes in. Very nice. Lifting the forearms, lifting the elbows. And then let's come onto the balls of the feet again. We'll hold there this time for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently heels down, straightening the legs. Taking an inhale as you exhale, coming back into your goddess. Heels up. And let's hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down. Slowly standing up. Letting go of the arms, giving everything a little bit of a shake. And then hands to the mat, stepping back, downward facing dog. So taking a breath here, finding a little bit more space maybe. What can you change? And then inhale the right leg up, stepping the right foot through. Inhale, coming up for your high lunge. Coco. Exhale, arms reaching back behind you, leaning over a bent right leg. Start to roll onto the ball, the tippy toe of your back foot, maybe floating that leg up into warrior 3. Flexing the heel, extending the leg. Then bringing your hands to heart center, standing up, left knee to chest. Left knee over for eagle legs. 1 cross or 2. Arms out to a T. Right arm under left. Squeezing the elbows, squeezing the forearms, lifting up. Taking a couple of breaths here. Keeping the gaze soft. Squeeze the thighs together. And then unraveling the arms, standing up, giving the knee a squeeze into your chest. Crossing the left foot over the right. Flexing that foot. Starting to bend down, bending the right knee. And you can stay here with your hands at heart center, or you can bring your fingertips to the mat. Starting to lengthen through the back leg, through the standing leg. Coming into a one-legged forward fold. One more breath here. Inhaling to halfway lift. Exhaling, replacing the left foot next to the right. Bending the knees, sweeping the arms up. Bringing the palms to touch overhead, maybe a little back bend here. Squeezing the glutes to open through the front of the thighs. Maybe the arms reach back a little more. Exhaling back to heart center. We'll step the right foot back. Oops. Finding our high lunge. So make sure your feet are separated wide on the mat for balance. Inhaling the arms up. Shoulders down. Taking a couple of breaths. What can you soften? Think about one thing you can do to change how this feels, taking the struggle out of the shape. Starting to lean forward, reaching your arms back behind you, leaning over your left leg without touching the left leg. The further you lean, the easier it is. Coming onto the very tippy toe of the right foot. Inhaling the right leg up for warrior 3. Engaging that leg, flexing that heel. Reach the arms back. And then starting to stand up, bringing that leg with you. Bring it into your chest first and then cross it over the left leg for eagle legs. 1 wrap or 2. Some days one side's more accessible than the other. Just observe. Left arm under right for your eagle arms. Inhale, lifting the arms, squeezing the forearms, squeezing the thighs. Taking a couple of breaths. And then letting go of the arms, hands to heart center. Inhaling the right knee towards the chest, flexing that foot, coming into your figure four, right ankle, left thigh. Staying there or bending the standing leg. Hands to heart center, flex that right foot. Staying there or bring your fingers to the mat. If you're coming into this forward fold, start to get into the habit of wrapping the right foot around the supporting arm so that you can feel it actually giving you support. And if you're doing that and it's comfortable, maybe bring your hands back to your chest and to your heart, and you'll find your leg is making a bit of a ledge at your triceps. So just thinking about that. And then fingertips back to the mat, uncrossing the legs, bringing one leg and then the other to the front of the mat. Inhale, rolling up, arms up to the ceiling, squeezing the glutes, opening through the front of the quads, maybe leaning back. And then exhaling your way down into Malasana. So heel toe the feet to the outsides of the mat, bringing the triceps into the thighs and the inner thighs into the triceps. Just take a couple of breaths here, letting the energy settle, letting the breath settle. Closing down the eyes if that feels okay for you. And then gently lowering yourself down onto your seat, finding Navasana, boat pose. So any variation, holding onto the backs of your thighs or reaching, those shapes are looking beautiful. Really nice. Let's exhale down to half boat, belly to the spine, chin to chest, only the lower back on the floor. Pulling the belly down towards the mat. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lowering down with control. Inhale up. Last one, exhale down, slowly as you can, keeping the legs and the shoulders off the floor, and then gently bringing your legs and your arms to the mat. And just lying here for a second or two, receiving the effects of the shapes that we've just put our body through. Moving sometimes into these strong shapes to find the stillness within. It's always there. Often we put ourselves through strong practices to journey back to stillness. So from there, let's bend the knees, coming into a bridge pose, hands flat on the floor. Let's inhale, we're going to round our hips up towards the ceiling, pushing through the feet. Weight coming onto the back of your shoulders, making sure your chin is away from your chest. A little bit more of a squeeze to the glutes. How's the breath? Are you breathing? If not, why not? From there, we're just going to inch our left foot more into the center of the mat. So still under the knee, but just more closer to the center of the mat. Inhale the right knee up and bring the right foot into figure 4. Flexing your right foot over your left knee, keeping the hips up. If you need support, you can definitely clasp your hands under your back, shuffle your shoulders closer together, but think about lowering the knee towards the ground. Taking a breath. And then on the next inhale, we'll lift that leg gently up towards the ceiling. Push through the left foot. And then slowly lowering right foot back to the mat. And what did we do? Crossing the left leg into your figure 4. So flexing the foot over the right knee, lifting the hips. Shuffle the shoulders together if you need. Bringing the left knee towards the mat, towards the ground. Taking a breath. Hips are still off the ground. Maybe try and open them a little bit higher by squeezing the glutes. And then inhaling the left leg up. Pushing through the right foot to lift those hips a little bit higher. Exhaling, lowering the left leg to the mat. Releasing the hands if they've been clasped underneath. Gently lowering your back down. Upper, mid, lower back. Just take a breath and let the knees knock together. You can heel toe the feet so they're a bit wider on the mat. And just taking a couple of breaths here. Let's heel toe the feet back towards the center so that they're just hip distance apart. Open your arms out to a T. Let's bring the left leg over the right, crossing it like we did in our eagle shape. Single, wrap or double, depending what feels good. Then lift your hips up and move them to the left slightly. And then open into the twist towards your right. Gazing over the left arm if that feels good. Couple of breaths here. Letting everything soften on the exhale, including the mind. Inhaling back to center, unwrapping the legs, bringing your hips back into the center, and then slightly over to the right. Right leg up, wrapping around the left leg for your eagle wrap, single or double. And then exhale, letting the knees drop over to the left. Gazing over the right arm. Watching the mind when the practice starts to slow down. Just observing what the mind is doing or saying. The more we witness the activities of our mind, the more we control the mind rather than the mind controlling us. Inhaling back to center, uncrossing the legs, lifting the hips back into the center of the mat. Slight engagement of the knees towards the chest, a little rock side to side. And gently start to lengthen the legs down the mat. Palms down beside you, letting the feet flop out. Taking a big breath here. And exhaling to release control of the breath. Releasing the practice into your Shavasana. Softening those facial muscles. Softening the muscle of the mind. At the next inhale, slowly starting to deepen the breath. Maybe bringing some movement to the fingers and the toes. Reaching the arms up overhead and stretching the legs down the mat. Bringing your knees into heart center, giving them a little bit of a squeeze and a little rock side to side. And gently rolling over onto one side. Using your bottom arm as a pillow. Just taking a few moments here. Scanning the body. Without judgment, just noticing what's changed, shifted since you first stepped onto the mat today. On the next exhale, pushing through the top hand, bringing yourself up to a seat, keeping the eyes closed if you can. Bringing your hands to heart center. Let's inhale our arms up overhead, big inhale. Exhale, bringing our palms together, palms to heart center. Bowing forward. Together we say Namaste.